Hey everyone, this is Derek from the only sports podcast in Garden City, D&D Sports Chat. You're listening to Garden City Community Chat with your hosts, Carrie Parton, Mike Jones, and Doppler Tom with the weather. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Well, hello, Garden City and all our neighbors. This is episode number 627 of the Garden City Community Chat Show. It is Thursday, July the 6th, 2023. We're so happy you could be with us tonight. We hope you're all safe and doing well and had a wonderful 4th of July. I am your host, Carrie. Also joining me tonight are my co-hosts, Garden City's very own meteorologist, Dr. Tom Lewinsky. Tom, how are you?
Doing well. Got a little toasty today.
Yeah, I've been toasty.
Toasty, a little humid.
Yeah, a little bit.
Richard weather.
Also, former Garden City Councilman and past president of Garden City Kiwanis, Mr. Mike Jones. What's up, Mike?
Everything's going great, Carrie.
Good.
Thanks for the email.
Yeah. No problem.
I looked at that and I says, "Oh crap! 3 minutes ago."
I know we get a little lax in this heat. I don't know. It gets to us a little bit. Hey, tonight we're going to have some conversation and see how that goes. Also, you never know, we might have a guest pop in, but let's hear from you tonight. How was your 4th of July weekend? What did you do? Did you stay home? Did you travel? Let us know. What are your concerns about the community? Let us know. So tonight is conversation and communicating. We also have Mike with the latest community events for you. But first, Dr. Tom's going to have the most current and accurate forecast. And we're hoping that this heat wave kind of subsides a little bit. But before we get to Tom, let me mention real quick, if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and post your questions and comments in the comments section or email us the questions at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, which is up on the screen right under my name right there. There it is. We're opposite here. That's weird. You can also text us at 734-788-9319, and we'll address those for you. We also want to take a quick minute and say thank you to all of you for listening, supporting our show every Thursday night, not only from our hometown of Garden City, but several of our surrounding communities as well, and out of state. We really appreciate everyone's support, and remember, we'll continue to promote not only our community, but yours as well. And speaking of community, if your organization or business has any events or cancellations that you'd like to get out to our listeners, what should they do, Mike?
They should probably email us, Carrie.
Exactly. Email the details to us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com or message us on Facebook at facebook.com/gcchat, and Mike will be more than happy to pass that information along. We also encourage any local business to check out and join the Garden City Business Alliance and see what great things they can do for you. For more information, you can go to their website at gardencitybusinessalliance.org. Okay, let's get Tom in here now with a check of the latest weather, and then we're going to spend some time chatting with you folks tonight. All right. Stand by. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. There you are. Little plug for J&J Taxes there too.
Always.
So what's up? What do you got?
Kind of a summer-like pattern we've really been in over the last couple of days. I mean, we definitely saw the heat over the last couple of days. We definitely saw the rain recently as well, which is very good because we are actually still in a drought, believe it or not. We're still in a pretty good moderate drought across the area still, even with that rain. That's how far in a deficit we are when it comes to rainfall this spring. I mean, we didn't see much in the way of any appreciable rain over the last couple months. And now we're starting to get a little bit more most recently, and that is definitely helping. And we need more of it. So any rain is definitely needed. But we're definitely seeing a kind of one more kind of chance of some rain. Overall, it's been kind of an on and off issue throughout the day today. Some locations got a pretty good hefty amounts of rain. There was some isolated cells that were moving through the area. There's one out there I'm keeping an eye on as well. And overall, this threat is going to be continuing over the next couple hours and then really fizzle as we get into the overnight hours. And as we kind of get into tomorrow, we're definitely going to be seeing a pretty good day out on tap. It's going to be a little bit cooler, back into kind of the lower 80s. So cooling things down temperature-wise by a couple degrees. For sure, after the system kind of moves through, it's going to be overall fairly sunny out there as well. So looking pretty good to end the work week on a Friday. So enjoy that. And then as we kind of get into the weekend, we're definitely going to see kind of another system move through on Saturday. Again, bringing some on and off rain across the area again on Saturday. And temperatures are going to be cooler over the weekend as well. We're now going to be dealing with temperatures in the upper 70s on Saturday, kind of with those clouds and on-off rain. And we're definitely going to see temperatures rebound a little bit on Sunday, back into kind of the lower 80s with a little bit more sunshine to help out with that. But overall, I'm not really expecting too much in the way of any heavy rain with this. I'm not expecting any severe weather or anything like that this weekend. So it's definitely going to be kind of a weaker system moving through, just giving some more rain across the area. And as we get into next week, we're definitely going to see a little bit of a warm-up getting into Monday and Tuesday again. We're probably going to see temperatures getting back into the upper 80s, with temperatures getting fairly mild again, continuing for the rest of the work week. So the peak heat is going to be early in the work week on Monday and Tuesday, with kind of a mix of clouds and sun. Not expecting too much in the way of any precip on Monday and Tuesday, but as we kind of get toward midweek or so on Wednesday and into kind of portions of Thursday, we're going to see kind of another rounds of on and off rain moving through, and temperatures will be cooling down, obviously, with that system moving through back into the lower 80s. So you kind of get the trend. We kind of warm up for a couple days, like yesterday and today, ahead of kind of our systems that move through. Then we have some on and off rain that moves through the region that brings down those temperatures for a couple days as well. So as we kind of end the work week of next week, temperatures are actually going to fall back into like the lower 80s. So it's going to be kind of a pretty nice, still warm pattern, still within the region, but nothing too hot. I don't see any significant heat waves on the horizon. I don't see 90 plus degrees for consecutive days out there. So it's definitely a nice change, because this is getting into the time of year where we can definitely get into some heat waves and some bad heat waves across the entire region. But as of right now, it's kind of tempered. It's still dealing with some humid conditions with those 80-degree temperatures. So it's still miserable at times out there, but overall not dealing with dangerous heat this summer as of yet. So we'll take the rounds of rain for sure. We'll take kind of the drier weather and cooler temperatures at times. So kind of everything is kind of mixed into this forecast. That's definitely going to kind of still give us that summer feel, and still have a little bit of rain to help with the drought. So nothing too crazy out there. Kind of dealing with a pretty summer-like pattern for sure out there. But other than that, kind of expanding outward and talking about some other weather quickly. And overall, again, kind of the region's been in kind of this active period where we have been getting kind of just some rounds of rain and storms over the last week or so. And that's been kind of a big concern across just the general eastern U.S., where we've been dealing with just rounds of storms that have been moving through the region, and some severe weather outside of our area as well. Significant severe weather kind of across the Central Plains. A pretty big complex of storms actually moved through a good portion of the area over the last couple of weeks. So we've been dodging a lot of that heat that's still out there as well, and a lot of those storms. So if you complain about our weather, Carrie, you and I both know it could be so much worse.
I know.
There's not really much to complain about here, but
Right.
we definitely could have it a a lot worse. But yeah,
Yep.
Other than that, air quality is not as bad over the last couple over the last week or so, as we're kind of getting into kind of some systems, obviously, that push all that smoke and haze out of here. But it could potentially roll back in throughout the rest of the summer at times. So it's not going to be a completely kind of a air quality free kind of summer out there, as we're going to continue to kind of deal with these muggy temperatures. But other than that, there really isn't too much to talk about. The weather's been kind of cooperating and really quiet on the home front. But if you want to keep tuned to all my local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerTomsWeather.com, and it will keep you updated as we continue to roll on in the summer heat out there. So enjoy it. I know a lot of people like the summer, so enjoy the summer heat, because it's definitely sticking around.
Right. Hey, I got to tell you, guess who's in the chat room? Mr. Dave Cooper from the
really?
UK.
What's the weather like over there?
Well, he says it's mixed. It's either hot or very wet.
I'm telling you, it's just like us at times.
And also our good buddy, the car guru himself, Don Nicholson's in there. He is in Ottawa, Canada. Now, he says it's 30 where he's at, but I'm thinking that's Celsius probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Mrs. Chat's in there, and we have Michael Bingles in there, and William Werhan from the library board. How you doing, Paul? Good to see you. And a few others are in there that I can't see, but thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Let's see. So let's start the conversation off. How was your 4th of July? What'd you guys do?
Take a guess, Carrie.
You stayed home.
No, I worked every single day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is what happens when you're a newbie. You work the holidays. For a couple years.
Yeah. Well, at least, did you barbecue at least? No?
When you're on a midnight shift, you work and you sleep, and you work and you
Oh,
sleep. You
yeah.
don't have nothing. It's just, so that's kind of what I did. So spoiler alert, not much.
Yeah. Mike, what about you? How was your 4th?
Pretty uneventful.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that we had a brownout for a few hours.
Did you really? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You didn't lose anything, did you?
No. We had trouble finding a restaurant that was open
Yeah.
to go to for supper, because
Right.
all the American restaurants seemed to be closed.
Yeah.
We went to a Chinese one.
Okay. So that's good. Yeah, we just kind of hunkered down a little bit ourselves. I barbecued on the Blackstone and made some egg roll in a bowl, and that was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just so hot, that couldn't do much, couldn't do much at all. So let's talk about let's see, does anybody else in there have any? Let's hear what you guys did for the 4th. Dave Cooper says all those air conditioners people have turned on, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Don Nicholson says, I worked every day. Yeah. Tom, too. He's right with you. Yeah, he feels you.
There are nice advantages about being retired.
Exactly. John Murray just joined us. He's present, he says. Good to see you. Hi, John. All right, so let's talk about, let's see. I had a couple things here. We talked about the 4th, the holiday. If you guys want to chime in, let us know what you did on the 4th of July, anything different, or if you stayed home or traveled. It was a big travel day, I know. The airlines were going crazy again. But, yeah, so, hey, let's discuss the Golden Feather. We know now that it's been sold, and a child daycare center is going to be put in there. How do you feel about that? Yeah.
Are they going to have roasted chicken?
No. Yeah.
My wife was disappointed.
Yeah, they're going to have a daycare or child care center there. I don't know if it's such a great place to have right on Ford Road there like that. I don't know how they're going to work that. Are they going to fence it all in, or? I mean, that building is beautiful, and I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't know. Why does Garden City attract, daycares and banquet halls? And I mean, I know we're landlocked, Mike, but we have a Kmart property, Prime Choice property. We have the Lincoln Mercury dealer down the street, the Knights of Columbus lot that's been up for sale forever on Ford Road, where the old Knights of Columbus was. I don't know. Yeah, Michael Bingo says he was hoping that a restaurant was going to go in there, but doesn't look like it, Michael. John Prosh, the DDA, interim DDA director, said it's a daycare. So we'll have to see how that goes. I don't know. Not thrilled. What are your concerns, Mike? Any concerns for you in the community?
Oh,
They seem to not be able to get on the same page about getting a DDA director and a economic development director. They want to combine the two.
we seem to have a lot of top-down management in the city.
Yeah.
Everything
point.
seems to have to go through one central person.
Yeah. I don't know. I've watched the last two DDA board meetings, and I don't know. They seem further apart than ever, the DDA and the city, don't you think?
Yeah, there just doesn't seem to be any resolution. It's like the library.
Yeah. Right.
I understand we're going to be able to move our Kiwanis pig race over to Radcliffe.
Really?
Yeah, it's not finalized, but
In the gym there, huh?
right. The big hang up was whether we'd be able to serve liquor.
Right. Yeah.
Catholics didn't care if we served liquor. They're all for it, but
Exactly. What about fireworks? Michael Bingo says the fireworks are a big issue. Oh my God.
fireworks were a big issue for a lot of people, including Tom's mother.
Yeah.
She
What
said she
happened
went
there?
crazy with all the noise and stuff
Yeah.
They don't
on
bother
the Fourth.
me.
What happened?
I don't know. I was sleeping. I said they don't bother me, but those older crowds, they don't like those fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was actually surprised over by us at right about 11:45. They were done. I mean, there
I'd
was
be
nothing.
surprised, like
not
how
everywhere in the
it can
city.
get-
No.
how it can shut off just as quick,
Yeah.
which happens every year, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wonder how it was out in Eaton Rapids. I know my daughter's dogs used to go crazy in Westland.
Yeah. Oh, the dogs and the veterans. I mean, they have a heck
Yeah.
of a time. It's really bad. Well, I don't know. They're thinking of changing it again in Lansing, so we'll see what happens. Just changing the amount of days that they can use fireworks now, cutting a few
Well,
out.
I don't know. There's people that shoot it off in Garden City, and there's no place in Garden City that's got to
No.
be consistent with the ordinances.
Right. Exactly. I don't know.
We're a residential community, and there's no big open areas that you could use.
Kathy Ward, one of her concerns, they need to fix the clock on the Folker building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that
I
clock
don't- I don't usually check the time when I go by there.
it
have
hasn't
to do
worked in
that.
ages. Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. What does Don Nicholson have to say? I love a good fireworks show. I'm just not a big fan of the side street fireworks shows. Yeah, that's true. I'll tell you, it was dangerous this year in a lot of cities, though. Wow. I don't know. Maybe China's sabotaging the fireworks we're getting, eh? I don't know.
Don't trust the Chinese any farther than you can.
Rome.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Don Nicholson, the clock is right twice a day. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Michael Bingo, he says they need some kind of a task force to deal with these fireworks. How about a citizens task force, the dogs, Tom, and military with PTSD? Yeah, I know it's bad. But you can say till you're blue in the face and they ignore it. I don't know where they're getting the money, honestly, to
Yeah.
buy these. It's amazing. The cost. Yeah, to help the police. Yeah, I know. I don't know if they'd go for that. You know, you might want to check into that. China laughs at us every year. Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. What did Dave say? Well, Cheryl and Carrie must need a few more eat out places to try out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we know I use another restaurant. Let's see. Well, Tom, if you want to go, you can probably clock out if you want. You probably got
clock out. The odd clock out. I know it's always a rough time when you work midnight, so you'll try to come in for a bit, but you always have to sign off for a point. But enjoy the weather, enjoy the heat.
Explain to everyone what you do again, what your job is now. You're an actual meteorologist now.
I'm an actual meteorologist for a company. I'm a consulting firm which does consulting weather forecasts for clients across the state of Missouri. So I do a remote job that's like here, though I'm here in Michigan, but I work outside of the state of Missouri, and we do a whole bunch of different sectors. So we do contractors, we do public works, we do parks and rec, we do sports, we do all sorts of different sectors. The private clients to give them customized forecast that keeps them ahead of it. So it's a fun time. And
you actually just recently went there, right? In person and met everybody.
Yep, a couple shows ago, I was in my hotel room.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pretty cool.
Too bad you couldn't get some rain on the 4th of July. The Tigers sure couldn't hit. God.
Oh my God. Yeah,
worst team in the American League, and they get 2 hits.
We're going to talk about that later. All right. Well, look, Tom, you take care, buddy. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a good night. Okay. Shannon Coffee, the notary babe, is in there. How you doing, Shannon? We're talking about what concerns you have for your community, or any questions or comments. And if you want to, if anybody wants to join us live, you can go to that link there that I put in the comment section. Just paste that in your browser and you can join us live on Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. Dave Cooper says, I guess you are a rainmaker then. Yeah, he's a rainmaker. For sure. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Tigers, but not right now. That's for sure. I don't want to mess up the night. So the community center, what's your thoughts on the community center? Has everybody been over there? What do you think? It's really nice, isn't it? I think it's great.
Yeah, they've done some nice things over there. It's definitely going to be a destination for a lot of activities.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I can pop in for a few minutes if you want. Yeah, go ahead, Dave. That's fine. We have another guest in there too. Hey, let's bring him in right now. How you doing? I knew you'd come on and want to talk about the Tigers.
No, man, that's the last thing I want to talk about. I'll tell you that. Just so sad. But
how did they win today? 9-0. And
but they're playing the worst team in baseball.
Exactly.
Lose 2 out of 3 at home.
That's just the nature of this team, and I think that's why this team is cursed, and that's why we've got what we've got for Detroit sports all around. I mean, it's the Tigers are the tip of the iceberg, and that 3-game series against the A's is really what their season's been all about. I mean, it's love or hate, it's feast or famine. That's how it's been this year. So it's kind of crazy.
Right. Hey, we have somebody else that just popped in too. You're not going to believe it, Mr. Dave AC from the United Kingdom. How you doing, Dave?
Hi guys. I hope my audio's coming through. Yep.
Yeah, sounds
good.
Yeah,
we hear you good.
How you been?
Fine. Struggling. Well, not struggling. Shouldn't say that. Just glad to be still here. I suppose that's one of the great things. They always say that it must be awful getting old, but they also say that older people are actually, I don't know, it's just grateful to be alive, but they're
Right.
usually more
Yeah.
grateful not to be at work, of course, Mike, as you said.
Yeah.
But again, that's a misnomer because I seem to do quite a lot of work. I just don't get paid for it,
Yeah, I hear you.
i.e., family stuff.
Yeah. We're talking with my son Derek. He does D&D Sports Chat, and I know you follow a lot of sports, tennis and golf. I don't know if you follow any American baseball or football or any of that, do you?
No, we can now watch the Super Bowl when it comes round.
Okay.
That 90-minute game that lasts 4 hours.
Yeah. A lot of teams have been going over to England and playing as well.
Yeah, every year a couple of the teams come over, and the big place where the soccer is played in the UK is the Wembley Stadium, and they always have a couple of teams over from America, and they do like a show or exhibition. It's really showing off the sport as a showcase and try and get more sport. But yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, I think the only thing that hasn't crossed borders is probably cricket. I don't think in America you actually got a handle on cricket. But, other than that, I think a lot of sports get international nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much.
A cricket match in Canada.
Yeah, cricket match in Canada. Yeah, they have that. We watch that. You can watch that over there.
You got a little tennis tournament going on over there, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, don't get. Carrie will have to stop me in a minute. Yeah, it's been really great. Except, as Double Exam said, we had a lovely June. Apparently, June that's just gone by has been the hottest June on record in the whole world.
Oh.
And of course, because they wanted to extend the grass season for tennis, I'll be brief. They've moved it back 2 weeks because it used to be too near the French Open, and the players couldn't transition from the two different services because quite often, quite a bit galling really, these sort of upstart Americans, it was the 4th of July and they come over and win our Wimbledon. The Williams sisters and all that kind of thing. But they've moved it back now, so it only starts around the first week of July. So we had this glorious June, and then 2 days after Wimbledon started, we had all these thunderstorms. But they were playing up till 11 o'clock at night because they've got a couple of roofs there. But that's my brief answer. I'll stop there. That's it.
Well, I know you're a big tennis fan for sure, and golf as well. So I'm not so much in tennis, but I do like the golf. I do watch a lot of the golf.
The Open Golf will be starting.
Yes,
it's in Liverpool this year.
correct.
And this year is the 151st year. So it's been going. Last year was the 150th anniversary of it.
Wow.
So it's been going that long. So
and I actually like watching the women LPGA. I really like what they're playing their U.S. Open now.
they're good. The women,
Yeah, they are. They're very, very good. Very good.
Mainly dominated by the Chinese players.
Yes, a lot of Asian,
and Koreans.
a lot of Asian, Koreans.
Korean.
Yep.
But
they're very entertaining. I mean,
well, I'm sure Derek wants to talk about other sports.
Well, let's get to Derek now. So, what do you want to talk about? The Tigers?
Well, the Tigers, as much as I'd love to talk about how great the Tigers have been, let's talk about the Red Wings. That's kind of the next to the Lions. I think the Red Wings are probably the next biggest bright spot in Detroit sports. Right now, it's been a kind of like the Eisman watch of, are we going to get DeBrincat or not? And the last I heard is that from several notable beat writers, they're saying that it's between the Red Wings and the Islanders right now. And he is a Michigan native. He's born in Farmington Hills, and I think that he does have a lot of good ties here, and he wants to come to Detroit from what I've read. So
okay,
a lot of fans have been kind of impatient about it. They would think that, weeks ago there would have already been a deal on the plate for him. But because we decided to terminate that contract with Zadina after sending him down and clearing waivers, we actually freed up about $3.5 million worth of cap space. And so we went from $9 million to $12 million. So I think that was kind of what Stevie wanted to do. I think he wanted to make that final move to to kind of get Zadina off the books. And I think that's probably going to, lead to this deal. I think it's pretty positive right now. And I know that from the draft and what he did, a lot of two-way players, a lot of good moves in free agency as well, kind of building, up to what we were last year and building on that. But I think you're going to go from a B- to an A if you acquire Alex DeBrincat, because you're talking about a 3-time 40-goal scorer, a guy that's been in the league for 6 years. He played on an awful team there in Ottawa, didn't have a lot of support behind him. I think his plus minus was like a -31 last year. So that'll improve greatly if he's on, you put him on the top line with Larkin and, potentially the Perron or with Raymond. I think you're going to see this team fully succeed in far expectations of what we were thinking initially. And they should be a playoff team next year.
Yeah, it should be.
Nice.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Been a long time.
Do you know anything about hockey, Dave?
Are we talking about ice hockey?
Yeah.
Right.
I know it's rather vicious. That's about, I know about it.
Can be.
It's toned down over the years. Recently, it's not as violent as it used to be back in the 90s, but it's definitely still a pretty physical sport.
Right. Yeah, it's physical for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the Lions. Hey, everybody's talking about the Lions. This could be their year.
A lot of moves in the offseason, and finally, I think it's the fact that you have an owner, and you also have great coaching, a great general manager that's believing in this new identity that we've not seen in recent years. I mean, in these last few years under the Martha Ford regime, I guess, if you will, she's actually kind of going out there. She's trying to promote this team, and there's a lot of players that are now looking at Detroit as a fun place to want to play at, and they're the odds-on favorite to win the NFC North this year for the first time in a decade. And you got the Packers that are going to be probably taking a back seat with the loss of Rodgers and a lot of other key offensive players. And the Bears aren't nowhere near, where they should be at to be competing for this division. And the Vikings, I think you're going to see them tail off from last year's 13-win season. So
yeah,
doors wide open for the Lions to make some big time splashes this year. And, I want to believe, but it is still the Lions.
I would say that, the Vikings would be our biggest challenge probably in our division, I would say. But, they'd probably tail off too.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting season, but, it's a lot of fans are like, oh, yeah, I can't wait for September to roll around. And now with all these moves that the Red Wings are making, it's the summer of, once July 1st hits, that's when all the moves start happening. And this is a unique year where a lot of the restricted free agents in the pool are just not they're not very decorated. They're not sought after this year. So a lot of moves, if you want to evolve your hockey team and build for the future, you have to unfortunately do it through trades, and you have to give up some key prospects. You got to give up young talent. But from what I see, and this is year 5 in the Steve Yzerman regime, is that this is like a win now mentality. I mean, you can't keep stocking up prospects. You can't keep loading up draft picks. You got to start moving those guys. And you've got a young core. You got the 3rd youngest core in the National Hockey League. I think the overall team average age is like 26, 27. So year 5, I'm fully anticipating this team to make a legit playoff run. If you miss the playoffs this year, as harsh as it might sound, I think it's kind of considered to be a failure, especially how close we were last year. We went on that 5-game losing streak to close out the season, but we were showing some pretty big gains last year before, we decided to be sellers at the trade deadline. So this year, I think, is going to be that massive leap year where, we need to make the playoffs in year 5 of under Yzerman. And I think he knows that.
That's what they're saying. It's a do or die season probably for Stevie Y.
Can I ask a question there, Derek? You said that the team's young and the average age is 26, 27. I mean, in the UK, we'll have youngsters play soccer, football, and they'll make the debut at 18. And at 26, they're considered, maybe the captain of the team or, an old hand. And because of a lot of the American sports, I know they use the collegiate system where they come in through that. I'm surprised that you said that their age is that and calling them a young team. I would have thought they'd all be 21, 22, 23. I mean, I know like in the Super Bowl, the guy that's just retired, who's about 35, Brady, is it?
Yeah.
But
Well,
he,
Brady was, I think, 40. What was Brady? 43, I think, when he
Right.
retired. 42 or 43. Yeah.
Right.
I thought he was an exception. And
Mhm.
I know
He
in
was.
basketball, some of those players can be older, you know,
Right.
towards the 30 mark.
Yeah.
But just to go back to your point, 25, 26 is considered a young team.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it too is if you look back at the NHL from the 90s when it was a more physical game, there was a lot of it was a different style of hockey, and I think just a different mentality of player, because back in the day, when back in the mid to late 90s when the Red Wings were dominating, we can all remember, I mean, a lot of those players didn't hit their ceiling and their peak until they hit 30. I mean, Yzerman, I think he played some of his better hockey when he hit 30, 31. But
Yeah.
now in this new age of the NHL stars rising, even though they're getting drafted still at 19, 20 years old, or even younger, they sit down and they play in the farm system, so to speak, and they don't get called up until they're around 22 or 20, 21 years old. Dylan Larkin, he's been with the Red Wings already for 5 years, almost 6, and he's 26 years old, and he's considered now hitting his prime.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the different age of today's NHL is just players are, they're starting off young and they're hitting their prime, at a mid 20s age. So in this NHL, I would consider probably 23 to around 28 to be the peak and be the ceiling for a lot of these players. Once you hit 30, it's kind of like you start slowing down a little bit, unless you're like a Connor McDavid or you're an Austin Matthews. These are going to be guys that are going to be playing, I'm sure, well into their 30s. You got Alexander Ovechkin, who's going to be 38 or 39 this year, who's chasing Wayne Gretzky's overall record in goals. So
let me tell you, that is old for hockey because that, like you said, Dave, that's a rough sport.
Yeah,
Right.
anytime you can get past the age of 35 in hockey, I mean, you got to have some really, really good defense. You got to be well balanced. You got to be conditioned. Chris Chelios played until he was 45. I mean, that was. You don't see that anymore these days. Jaromir Jagr, he's not in the AHL anymore, but he was playing in the AHL till he was 44, 45. And I think he's still playing hockey overseas, and he's 50.
Now,
So
what about, Go ahead,
sorry.
Dave.
I was saying it may be too with the condition of people and living longer. With tennis, that's happening. Of course, Andy Murray's just been at Wimbledon. He's 34. He's got a metal hip. He's had a hip replacement and he's still playing.
Wow.
Roger Federer is 41, only retired last year, and all the other ones in football, soccer as you would call it, the most famous footballer in the world, Lionel Messi, who played for Barcelona. They consider him. Well, he's 36 and he's just gone for his last purchase. They've only paid about 100 million for him.
Yeah.
He's getting on.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's the richest sportsman in the world. He's
marketable name.
Well, I don't know about America because you always had a zero with the American numbers, don't you? But,
Yeah.
But I take your point about the increasing age. I mean, there used to be in tennis, you'd have youngsters coming out. I mean, in the female tennis, Emma Raducanu, of course, won the US Open tennis 2 years ago, just as she turned 19.
Yeah.
But that was considered a phenomenon. But anyway, back to you, Derek. Sorry, I was surprised. I was surprised about that age, thinking of them as collegiate football.
I just wanted to ask Derek, do you remember when Crosby came in for Pittsburgh? Was he in his teens?
Yeah, because he came in and he started right away. I mean, number one overall draft picks, if they're a formidable name and they're already getting a lot of hype, they're not going to go down in the farm system. They're going to come up right away. And I think Crosby did start at 18. He was 18 when he first came in. That's why his longevity, I mean, he's 34, 35 now, I think. He might be 36. I'm not exactly sure, but he's already been in the league for 15 years. I mean, just look at the longevity, and he's been protected well. He's had great defense. He has had some concussion issues over the past, decade or so. So that might end his career a little bit, I guess, earlier than expected. But, that's another one. I think even Ovechkin, when he came in, was either 18 or 19 as well.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah. That's unheard of. I mean, that's rare. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like K-Line when he came in, he was a kid too, right out of
high school.
Yeah.
And started with the Tigers. Wow. Crazy. Well, let's talk with the Tigers. I know Michael Bingo's chomping at the bit in there. He says, the Tigers are by no means out of it, but don't forget they're in the weakest division in the American League.
I tried to play by that whole, you're in the weakest division. The Central is, god awful. And yeah, I mean, we're still 6 games out. We might be 5 now with that win today. I'm not sure what Minnesota did, if they played or not. But regardless, I mean, this team's going to be
500.
Yeah, this team's 10 games under 500. The division winner, Minnesota's probably going to finish right around 81, 82 wins. They're going to probably be a 500 team by the time the year's up. But my bold prediction is, and I said this weeks ago to a group of friends of mine, I said the Tigers are going to probably be somewhere around 12 to 15 games under 500 by the end of August. They're not going to survive the end of the summer. I just don't see it with this team. They're way too up and down, up and down. I think that with what the Tigers did against the A's, that's prime example. When they lost, what was that 1-0 loss in the first game of the series? That was Oakland's first shutout of the season. We've been shut out, I think, 13 times this year. That leads the league.
And we got such great pitching. I was just sick at that loss. That just was sickening.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say the overall pitching is great. We got decent pitching. It's far better than the bats.
Yes.
When our average OPS on the team is, I think, second or third worst in the league. Javi Baez, whose OPS is like damn near at 50 or 500 and some. I don't understand why they're not playing Miguel Cabrera more. I know he's DHing, but the guy's not shaving any wear and tear off his body. I mean, I don't know why they're not playing him more. He's only played, I think, in 25, 26 games full time this year. And you might as well get the best out of him while you have him on the books for his contract. He's making them exuberant amounts of money. So, I mean, why not start playing him more? You sent Maton down. Torkelson's starting to, go decline again. I mean, yeah, he's got 13 home runs, but he's another hot and cold guy. The only guy I've really liked on this team that I feel like has been consistent, obviously Green was great. I think that Veerling has showed a lot of promise this year.
Yeah.
He was a cup of coffee player. We signed him to a short-term deal. And also McKinstry. I think McKinstry's been good too.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Can I jump in with another question?
Yes.
If I may, guys. Right. One of the things that's happening in the UK, and this is generally in all sports, is they're going behind a paywall with all these streaming services now. Here in the UK, like Wimbledon is what they call the national. The BBC pay for it because it's a national interest sport.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening in America with that? I mean, can you watch the sports as easily as you used to? And have you got to pay streaming service, i.e. this service or that service or the other service?
We can watch it on regular cable. Now, Bally's they're saying they might go under, so I don't know what
they might go belly up. But also, if you don't have, let's say you don't have a cable package deal like an Xfinity account where you have it come with your cable package. If you want to have the app, you're paying $20 a month, which is it's ridiculous, and I think it's a junk trash app. It crashes a lot for me, at least personally, and I know people that I've talked to. It's not a very good app, and they just keep wanting to dishing out more money for people to buy into this app. And also, more and more Tiger games are becoming blacked out because of it. So
all about the money.
You got the Yankees who have the Yes Network. That's worked out for them for the last 8, 9, 10 years. I don't know if that's a premium package or not, but I mean, with Bally's, once it evolved from Fox Sports Detroit, Fox Sports Net as we remember it, I've not been impressed with Bally's at all. And I mean, I know for a fact I sure wouldn't be paying for the app. I mean, I know we share accounts, but I wouldn't be paying for that app. If I had to buy it myself, $20 a month to watch junk Detroit sports teams. Oh, hell no. But
Michael Bingo wants to know. He says he knows baseball and who wants to bet that the Tigers come back. He said, "You watch." I only bet on sure things.
I will lay a pretty hefty amount of money down, fantasy money. I will not real money, but I mean, and I would be willing to bet big time money that the Tigers are not going to come back this year and they're not going to win this division. I just don't see the depth. The Twins are bad, but they also have far better overall pitching, I think, and their offense is better. They have much better bats. Carlos Correa is finally starting to kind of mold into the player that we thought he would be with Minnesota. He's doing a little bit better. They're also a very inconsistent team, but I'd be willing to bet by the time August rolls around, you're going to see this Tigers team tail off, and their schedule, it's not much in their favor. I mean, they had 3 easy games.
Seattle, I mean, it's not getting any easier.
I think they have now Toronto is it coming in? I think that's the next series, and Toronto's a tough team. I know that they're playing in a very, very very hard division in the East. And, if they were in the Central, they'd be running away with it. But yeah, I mean, if you can take, 2 out of 3 against Toronto, that'd be awesome. But you should have came in there and just completely stomped the A's. I mean, absolute worst team in the Major League Baseball right now. And
Colorado too, we should have. Colorado.
Colorado too. They're worse than you are. They're also in the basement. So 2 teams. But this has been the Tigers over the last 5-6 years, is that they can go in there and they can take a 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 out of really, really good teams, playoff contending teams, and then they go and they crap the bed against teams that are far worse than they are, and they should beat them, but they never do. So that's what frustrates me the most, and that's why I can't really invest in them. I can't watch them. I can't bet on them. Definitely to win. I'll definitely bet against them any chance I get, but I'm not feeling a comeback from them. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah. Let's see, John Murray, what's he say here? Mike, what you betting? Tigers make playoffs? Not going to happen. Won't play 500 ball. Derek is close with 12 to 15 games below 500. Oh, Mike's not going to like that.
I don't know if there'll be 12 to 15 games. Behind. When I said 12 to 15 games, I didn't say under 500. They're probably going to be worse than that. They're 10 games right now. I said they'd be about 12 to 15 games at the end of the season behind. That's how many games I think they're going to lose the division by. I think they're going to fall off that bad. Now, I had them winning 65 games. I think the over-under in Vegas had them winning about 63 and a half, 64 and a half. So I took right around there. And they're on pace right now to win a little bit more than that. But I don't think that they're going to keep the momentum, I guess you could say, into August and September. Once summer ends, I don't see it.
It's just consistency. They're just hot and cold, and you can't win like that. You just can't.
And the bats too. I mean, and just seeing some of the at bats by Javi Baez, the golf swings, and why it makes me. I respect AJ Hinch as a manager, but some of his decisions and his moves and slotting Javi 3rd, 4th, 5th in the lineup. I mean, the guy should not be batting any higher than 6th or 7th. I mean, I just don't understand it. But
Michael says a team with less than 500 will win this division. That's not saying much.
I think it's going to be right around 500. I mean, I think 81 and 81 is 500 record. And right now the Twins are, I think, 1 or 2 games above that. So they're on pace to win about 81 or 82 games if they keep up the pace they're on right now. So it's very possible, but I don't think the Tigers are going to be near the 500 mark at the end of the season. So
it'll be interesting. That's for sure.
Yep.
But man, I'll tell you, I can't take another loss like they did with that 1-0 one. That was a killer.
Yeah,
12-3 wasn't exactly a picnic.
But I hate losing 1-0 when we had such superb pitching.
The 1-0 ones hurt worse than the 12-2 or 12-3 losses. But again, and what was more promising, at least from that loss, is you had Tarek Skubal go out there and he pitched, I think, 4 shutout innings. And he had 7 strikeouts. Now, yesterday, very, very different story. You got, Eduardo Rodriguez coming back after about a month and a half off with injury. And he comes out there and he gave up, I think, 5 or 6 runs, but he struck out a few. So he had some promising, pitches. And there was some flashes of the stuff, but couldn't put it all together. And he only lasted about 4 innings. So, these returns, I mean, they're exciting on paper, but they're not putting everything together. And the offense is definitely not bailing them out either. So, I
mean, you got to ask yourself, did they miss Green that much?
I don't think so. I mean, the guy, he went 5 for 5 the other night in his rehab stint. He had his 2nd or 3rd rehab start in Toledo, and I think he's only about 2 or 3 games away from coming back. So it'll be nice to see him. Yeah, coming back on Saturday. So that'll be a bat that we've sorely missed. And, for at least from a consistency standpoint, I think before he went down, he was the closest to 300 as far as average went. So
he was hitting 295 when he went down.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good bat. That's for sure. All right. One more thing.
They missed Babu too.
Or no, 2 more things.
Two of their best left-handed hitters were out of the lineup.
Yes.
In terms of producing runs and what have you.
Right. Michigan football. I'm ready for some football.
Well, yeah, I know. We haven't had football weather quite yet, but as far as Michigan football, I saw an interview Blake Corum did the other day, and he said basically this year it's national championship or it's a failure of a season. And I couldn't be more right. I couldn't be more agreeing with him. I think that this is the year that it's make or break. I think that you got to get over this hump of early playoff losses in the championship, and
Yeah.
Especially with those new teams coming in. When you're going to have USC coming in, you're going to have UCLA coming in a year, and it's
Right.
going to also alter the shift. You're going to be getting rid of the East and West divisions, and that's going to be something very, very interesting too. How they're going to move
We
forward.
could be
with
playing
that.
Ohio State on back-to-back weekends.
You could, and a lot of people are also saying that that's taken away kind of like the tradition of that game and making that November game very meaningless. But you could have 2 undefeated teams going into that game and could be fighting for a Big Ten title. At least from that one side, with there not being any divisions. I mean, it's really weird. I kind of like the idea of just having an outright winner, or just going based off of records. No more divisions. I think it's a little confusing at first. I think you got to kind of let it play out. But I like what the Big Ten's front office has done to try to, mix things up, because I know that the East Division always ran away with it. I mean, out of the West, you'd think maybe a Wisconsin would take it, or a Penn State, but the East was always just that much better.
Penn State's in the East.
Oh, that's right. Penn State's in the East, but Wisconsin was really the only one in the West that really ever had a shot.
Iowa.
And Iowa every now and then would be
Iowa,
flashes in the hand, but
Yep.
that East is just way too powerful. So I kind of like the adjustment to just now put everybody in the same pool and just fight it out for overall records. And I wish they would just get away. Now that you have basically 15 teams now in the Big Ten, 16.
16 when the
Why not do away with these first 3 games of just non-conference play? You have enough teams. Everybody should be playing a Big Ten team. All 12 games of the season should be Big Ten matchups.
Those are nothing teams usually, and they like them to warm up with them, I guess.
Well, it's TV contracts, it's the TV deals. They work it out for the little guy. Getting the little guy some TV exposure on network television. That's I think another reason why they do that.
Yeah.
But nah, I want to see Big Ten conference play all year round. That's how it should be.
All right, and the last thing, NASCAR. When is the cutoff now for the playoffs?
I think we got about, I want to say 6 races left.
Six,
I think it's 6 races after this weekend. So
And they're at Atlanta, I think, this weekend, right?
they're at Atlanta. Yep, Sunday night race. It starts at 7:30.
So do you think Chase is going to get a win in those 6 races?
I think he will. I think it's just going to come down to the right track. You got Atlanta. He's been good there. New Hampshire's another good track for him. That's coming up next week. I think that if he continues, honestly, in 6 races. So right now, I think he's 53 points below the cutoff.
Yeah.
If we keep on having new winners, obviously his chances of making the playoffs are not going to be good. But he could still mathematically point his way in without a win if he keeps getting top 5s. But had another good run, finished 3rd at Chicago last week, which I really enjoyed. That Chicago race.
I enjoyed that.
That had a lot of hype, a lot of exposure, a lot of new fans.
Maybe Detroit. Maybe they'll do that in the streets of Detroit, like Formula One.
Take a look at Chicago roads versus Detroit roads. That's the biggest difference in that track. You ain't going to see a NASCAR race in Detroit unless they repurpose all the roads. Because that was a smooth, and also they were racing in a park too. That was Grant Park. So I mean, that was you could tell that was a newly repaved main road that they were racing on, and it was nice. I mean, I like the backdrop of seeing the trains and the taxis in the background, the city lights and everything. I thought NASCAR for the hand that they were dealt with the weather and the rain and basically being a washout for the Xfinity race and a lot of patience, they pulled that off pretty well. So I was surprised.
Yep, I agree. Dave, back to you. I see now, for those that don't know, Dave is a wine connoisseur. What are we drinking
He keeps
tonight?
showing it off.
What are we drinking tonight?
Yeah.
Well, just before you do that, about racing, apparently it's actually Brad Pitt, not a sportsman, but Silverstone, the Formula One racing, is going to do a couple of laps there because he's filming a new film where he's going to be a veteran race driver, a little bit like Tom Cruise coming back to Top Gun.
Yeah.
So, and he's in his 50s, Brad Pitt. So he's going to be racing around Silverstone in a racing car in an upcoming movie. So that sounds pretty good. I'm drinking a Spanish wine, and it's called Muriel, which is the name of a wind, famous wind in Spain, and it's a Rioja.
Okay. Now, is that a dry wine or sweet?
Unless you've got a mature palate, you call it a dry wine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, I like a little sweeter.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
One piece of news about wine, though, is I was reading this about Californian winemakers, the Napa Valley ones.
Yeah.
They're having to learn firefighting techniques because of all the wildfires that are hitting
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Unbelievable. But one of the things they've been saying is that even when the fires haven't reached the vineyards, the smoke has still affected the grapes.
Yeah.
And one of them, a couple of years ago, decided not to put a vintage out because they tried some of the grapes and it wasn't like a smoky effect. It had ruined the grapes, and it cost him £25 million
Ooh.
not to put out a vintage that one year. So
Wow.
that's sort of money,
Yeah.
because he didn't want to lose his reputation. So
Wow.
you know,
Wow.
anybody can sully my reputation for 25 million, but
Yeah.
Probably settle for less than that.
And what's the wine podcast that you used to have? The name?
it's big and fruity. And one of the great things,
Big and
thank you
fruity.
for mentioning that, one of the great things about podcasts, rather than ones which are more topical, is the fact that you can listen to them from years ago. Because one thing about wines, the seasons
Holds
come
up.
round, the vintages, and with I notice you're celebrating on air 13 years today, so congratulations for that. Well,
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? We
Yeah.
go way back, don't we?
Yeah, we joined this when we're all in our 20s,
Yeah.
20's right.
Come on now, Mike.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come on, Jerry.
you don't think we're 35 each of us now?
Yes,
I think,
yes. Hey, we're in our prime now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you hit your ceiling.
I know,
but
Kerry, I know you and Derek are related. He's
Yeah.
your younger brother, isn't he?
Yeah.
Next week I'll be 18 or 81.
Yeah, flip the age around.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's funny. So what time is it there now? I know it's very early in the morning.
I'll be dropping off in a minute. It's nearly 2 a.m.
2 a.m. there. Wow.
Oh, man.
Well, I got to tell you, I really appreciate you coming on. It's been a long time since I seen you. You're doing good. You're looking good. Great to hear you.
Okay, well, I'll bow out now before you say anything else. I assume I just sort of drop off and it.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
and keep in touch, Dave. All right. And take care.
Okay, thanks, Rick, Kerry, Mike, and your lovely wife, of course, Kerry.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Take care.
Hi, Dave.
Dave AC from the United Kingdom. Great guy.
13
All
years.
Huh?
13 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and him pretty much started. Well, he started a little bit before. Remember when I was on Talk Shoe?
Yeah, back in the talk show days. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we started, both of
Yeah.
us. And whenever I had a question or an issue, he kind of took me under his wing and helped me out. And we've been buddies ever since.
Yeah.
Great guy.
One day, maybe he'll travel to the States. I know you ain't traveling, but maybe he'll come into the States.
Yeah. I mean, I was in England in the service.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I'll be traveling there. My flying days are over. So anything else you want to cover before I let you go?
No, I think that's about it. I just as far as the NHL, I've just been watching the DeBrincat the clock and seeing if they were talking about maybe within the next 24 to 48 hours a deal being made. So he's either coming to Detroit or he's going to the Islanders, one of the two. But I feel good about it. I think Stevie's going to make the right the right choice in this. I think he's going to offer him the right kind of contract, and I think that that'll be our big splash in the offseason. I think you'll see a lot of hype. After that signing, I think you're going to see a lot of hype around that, and I think the Red Wings are going to be a playoff team next year if that's the case.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm going to let you go, and you have a great night. Say hi to Rachel.
Yeah, for sure. You guys going up north this weekend?
Yeah, Friday.
Leaving tomorrow? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
All right. We'll be in touch.
All right. Keep an eye on things. See you.
All right. Later, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks. All right. A lot of good stuff. Oh, yeah. Cheryl. Yeah. Yeah. Dave AC was on, Cheryl. All right. Let's move on here. We got to get to events yet. Next council meeting is Monday, July 10th, 7 p.m. in the council chambers at 6,000 Middlebelt Road. these meetings are a great way for you to get involved and voice any concerns you have. All right, let's get to community events. So we will get Mike in here with some community events. All right, stand by for Mike.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. That'll be the day.
Okay, it's time for
when
some
you make me
community
cry.
announcements.
You say you're
Let's get
gonna
Mike in
leave.
here. Mike,
You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
All right, Mike. All right, there we go.
Straight Farmhouse museum hours are Wednesdays and Saturdays from 12 to 3. You can contact them at 734-838-0650 or find them on Facebook at GC Straight Farmhouse. Wayne County Veteran Services, you had our former mayor on as your guest last week.
Right. He's now the
Every Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 to 4:30. They're located in the Radcliffe Center. Please call Wayne County to make an appointment, 313-506-0302. And the American Legion Department of Veteran Affairs is available every Tuesday from 9 to 3. They can take care of all of your veteran needs, so you
Yep.
don't have to go downtown anymore.
Right. That's a big plus right there.
Yep.
Hi, Dennis Dykman's in there, the carpet cleaner. He is in there. How you doing, Dennis? Thank you for joining us.
Senior Fitness Club at the Radcliffe Center. Join now. A 3-month membership is $25. A 12-month membership is $70. Drop-ins are $3. For more information, call 734-793-1870. This is open for 50 and over.
Right.
Sharing Coffee, the Notary Public. Services include loan documents, trusts, power of attorney, titles, bill of sales, refinances and mortgages, acknowledgments, bank forms, and more. Carpet cleaner, there you go.
Yep.
Tile and grout, upholstery, auto fillets, and carpet. Call Dennis at 734-299-6496.
Yep. Dennis is a small business owner, and he was on our show, I don't know, a month or so ago.
Yep.
Check that out.
Neighborhood Watch meets the second Tuesday of every month. So the next meeting is the day before my birthday, July 11th, at the Garden City Police Department, 7 p.m.
Yep.
Crocheting Flowers, a 3-week class at the Radcliffe Center, Tuesdays, July 11th through July 25th from 6 to 7. $20, ages 14 and over.
Yep.
Open Computer Lab. They have a nice computer lab, and it's not getting used that much, and we need to
Yeah. People
get
need to
more
get
people
over
involved
it.
with that. It's Mondays to Fridays, or Mondays on 9 a.m. to 2, and Fridays 2 to 7.
Michael
All brand
Bingle
new
wanted to
computers.
complain about the council. They can't take care of overgrown bushes. Their ordinance department is a joke. Also, what I could get done with Randy can't get nothing done now. Okay.
Summer meals, meet up and eat up. Visit the Michigan Gov Meet Up, Eat Up, or call 211 or text food to 877 to find a site near you. Garden City High School, June 26th through August 24th, Monday through Thursday. Lunch served from 11 to 12:30. No service on, well, those days have already passed. Enter door at the high school by the tennis courts.
I just wanted to mention to Michael that, yeah, there's definitely room for improvement. Previous councils used to do blight runs. I don't think they do that anymore. And yeah, I agree. There's a lot of blight around now, and something needs to be done.
School supplies drive. Notre Dame Hall, donations can be dropped off there on July 31st by 2 p.m. They need backpacks, notebooks, pens and pencils, folders, crayons, and markers, etc. Bingo at the Rec, Garden City Senior Center. First and third Monday of every month. Started this week, runs to August 7th. And 21st, 1 p.m. at the Radcliffe Center. Yoga at Radcliffe, Monday at 6:30 p.m. Drop in for $6. Purchase a punch card for $28.
I'm still trying to figure out what's the difference between yin yoga and regular yoga. I don't know what that is. If anybody knows, put it in the comment section.
Yeah. Garden City Parks and Rec, it's a program called Exploring Art, Tuesday mornings, starting July 11th, a 4-week class at the Radcliffe Center, $25.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Pickleball League,
Oh, boy.
Tuesdays.
This is huge.
And starters July 11th, $50 per team. Sign up. Open until July 7th, which is like tomorrow. 8 people per team. Games start between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. It's for 18 and over. Annual Garden Club Garden Walk is July 15th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tickets are $20 each, and you can get them at Barson's Greenhouse. Tickets include lunch at the Straight Farmhouse, and you get to visit the beautiful gardens. I don't know how many gardens they got signed up this year. Vendor show, a backyard floral arrangement contest, plant sale, door prizes. Any questions, you can contact Mrs. Chat. Go pertinent 734-788-1319.
Well, this is interesting, Mike.
What's that?
Michael Bingo says, thanks, Gary. I invite all the council to watch your show and was told by mayor and council they don't have time for you. I told them they might learn something. Thanks for listening, because they certainly don't. Well, that's funny, because if they don't have time to watch us live, they can always watch a rerun, right? It's recorded.
Right.
So that's no problem. We got them covered. But I would think they got a lot of time on their hands. That seems okay.
Oh, Garden City Senior Center presents Ice Cream Bingo Monday, July 17th from 1 to 2:30 at the Radcliffe Center. Join us for Ice Cream Sundays, bingo, and prizes. I think you and I are volunteering to help scoop, aren't we?
Well, I won't be there Wednesday because I'll be gone. If I come back Tuesday, I'll be there. If I come back Wednesday, I won't be there.
Okay. Well, this is July 17th is when the event is.
Oh, yeah. No,
$5 per person.
I'm talking about our meeting Wednesday.
Registrations begins. Well, I'll miss you if you're not at my meeting. Gosh.
I know. I'll miss you.
Yeah. Movies in the park. Screening this summer is Matilda and Top Gun Maverick. I can't read the fine print. It's free. I know it's at, what is it, Vinoy?
Matilda's at Garden City Park on
Oh.
Wednesday, July 19th, I think. And Top Gun is at the Rotary Park on Marquette, Wednesday, August 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to make that print bigger.
Yeah, Music in the Park. We got 2 more dates, July 20th and August 17th.
Yeah, we'll be taking the 20th and the 17th off to attend that again. Hopefully it won't rain out.
I think Kiwanis is going to try to be there on August 17th, but we're not going to have a tent set up for July 20th, I don't believe.
Okay. Makes sense.
Parents' Night Out, Friday, July 21st and Friday, August 18th. Activities for the kids include, oh boy, something with games.
crafts, games, movies, and pizza.
This is for ages 5 to 11.
Yep.
$10 for a child, or $20 for a child, $10 for a sibling.
Yep.
Get you babysitting and a night out with your special spouse.
Yeah, that's a nice time for him.
The Lucky Squirrel, got 2 more dates, July 22nd and September 16th. It's an outdoor flea market with craft and vendor event. Over 150 vendors, arts, crafts, antiques, and more. Kiwanis is going to participate in this one.
Okay.
On
Both of them?
to 3 p.m. And that's the northeast corner of Ford and Middlebelt.
Correct.
How to video call with family and medical professionals.
Oh, that's a nice class.
Yeah. This is at
Right
Radcliffe
on.
Center on Monday, July 24th from 2 to 3:30. Only $5.
Yeah. Learn how to use video call apps to video chat with your family, friends, and medical professionals.
A summer reading bash vendor and car show.
Oh, this
Garden
is
City Library and
Kiwanis.
Kiwanis present this on Saturday, July 29th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. I know, as it says, Kiwanis is going to be involved with that too. We're going to help serve food or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's only $10 for a vendor table. Applications can be made online at www.gardencityactivity. What is that?
GardenCityLIB.org.
LIB.org. Okay.
Yeah. This is a big one here.
Yeah, the Westland Brews, Booze, and
Yeah.
Barbecue, August 4th and 5th.
Huge.
Central Park, 36601 Ford Road in Westland. Delicious barbecue, cold drinks, and great music.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to volunteer, be a vendor.
Yeah. If you're Westland nonprofit community organization interested in volunteering at the festival, event is Friday, and they got information about how you contracting. But again, kind of fine read. Save the date. Drive-in movie at Cruising with Step. Drive-in movie, August 9th, 2023. Movie will take place at Steps Western Wayne County Resource Center at 450 South Vinoy in Westland. And The Great Race, I think, is the movie.
Yep, The Great Race.
Great movie. Annie Productions coming to O'Leary Auditorium on August 18th and 19th at 7 p.m. and 19th and 20th at 2 p.m. All reservations, all reserved seating tickets are $15.
Right. Not bad.
8th annual Coach Pinnell Champions Scholarship Scramble. You can register for that now. It's going to be on Tuesday, August 22nd at 9 a.m. at the Links at Gateway in Romulus. Help raise scholarship money for our at-risk students in the Garden City High School Champions Program.
Yeah, it's a good program.
Right. Like some of these kids that otherwise wouldn't get the attention, see how they can be successful too.
Exactly.
Household hazards waste collection. It's going to be on August 26th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. I think this is in Westland, isn't it?
Yeah, Westland Shopping Center. Yeah, 3500 Warren. Let me tell you, get there early because the line's going to be wrapped around.
Yeah, I had to pick up some stuff from my daughter in this place in Westland, and I didn't get there till like 10 or 10:30, and the line was already wrapped all the way around.
Yeah.
Central City Parkway, all the way around
Downtown.
Warren Road to Wayne.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I hope they have better luck this year.
Cruisin' Hines, save the date, August 27th, Sunday, 2023.
Yep, that's a big event for Don
Right.
Nicholson. And that's all I have, sir.
Okay.
All right. You know, Mike, we're always looking for guests to be on the show. If anyone's interested or knows someone who might be interested, we would love to hear from them. Very easy. Just email us once again at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, or you can message us on our Facebook page. It doesn't matter what community you live in. We want to hear from you. We are doing the shows remotely, so you can do them from the comfort of your home or office. Come on the show and share your information with us and the surrounding communities. Contact us today. We look forward to hearing from you. And with that said, Mike, I think we're ready to call this a
Podcast.
Great conversation tonight. Thanks to Derek Parton from D&D Sports Chat, and also our good friend from the United Kingdom, Dave A.C. Cooper. It was great seeing him and hearing from him today. Also, a big thanks to my fantastic co-host, meteorologist Dr. Tom Iwinski, and Mr. Mike Jones. Great job as always. Mike, any final thoughts before we go?
No, same trials as always. Get vaccinated. This fall, you better consider getting vaccinated for COVID and flu.
Exactly. Fall's coming. You want to do that for sure. All right. Thanks, Michael, for watching. Have a good night.
You too, sir.
Michael Bingle. All right. And also, I want a huge thank you to each and every one of you for sharing part of your time tonight and also over the past 13 years. Thank you so much. Also, don't forget this show will be available right after we sign off tonight on Facebook. So we hope you'll catch it at your convenience, especially if you tuned in late by going to facebook.com/GCChat. And anybody on the council, you can watch it as well. We would appreciate it. And feel free to share the show with your friends as well. Also catch us on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@GC Community Chat Show. You'll find not only this show, but all of our past shows as well. And please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button. We would appreciate that as well. And as we do at the end of all of our shows, we want to thank all the healthcare workers, first responders, police and fire, everyone on the front lines who serve and protect us every day. We cannot thank you enough. Be safe, and we want you to know you and your families are in our thoughts and prayers every day. And when you see any of these heroes, please let them know how much you appreciate them. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community. So please support your local businesses. And please don't hesitate, vaccinate. Like Mike said, fall's coming, so you want to get vaccinated and get that flu shot too. Protect yourself and others. And Mike, if you see something,
Say something.
Say something. We need to look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to DrTomsWeather.com. He's got a great user-friendly website over there full of good information. We will see you back here next Thursday, July 13th, live at 8 p.m. So until then, we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening. If you would like to contact any of us here at the chat, once again, email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to see more of. Thanks again for watching, and all the comments. Have a great rest of your week, and good night. Mike, take care, bud.
You too, Terry.
All right, we'll see you.
Yep.